Life is about taking risk. Advocating for who you are and what you believe in, no matter the circumstances, that is a risk.
Jungle Beats, holla at me.
This show highlights life and the risks people are willing to take to enjoy it. From food, fashion, sports, entertainment, and daily conversations. The Advocate gives the people of Delaware a platform to tell their stories, and it's not always perfect. And I've been in foster care for about 4 years now. But it's worth it. I'm Jamila Mustafa, host of the newly anticipated web series, The Advocate, also featured on Channel 28 Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. We want to know, what will you be an advocate for?
From Wilmington to Washington, we were requested to cover the 2015 inaugural celebration for Black entrepreneurs.
evolutionbeats.com.
I'm Jamila Mustafa reporting from the gala at tonight's event, and I'm here with
Emily Jeter.
So Miss Emily, tell me why you're here tonight other than the fact that you look gorgeous.
Thank you so much. I was invited to be a sponsor as a minority-owned women business here in DC.
Wow. And how important is it for entrepreneurship in DC?
It's fabulous, and it's very hard to do it from the ground up. So I started about 30 years ago as my own woman-owned business, and I'm honored that I'm a part of this association.
Mark Bowser.
Now, Mr. Bowser, why did you come out here tonight?
My brother actually invited me. He's involved in a charity that puts all this together, and also he was a panelist earlier today.
Wow, okay, so you're just enjoying the fruit of his labors. So how important is Black entrepreneurship in today's America?
Well, I think it's very important. I think that with all the money that we spend as a community, that we also need to grow our business, because that's how you build wealth, and that's how you drop your unemployment, you stop crime. A lot of that will come from people making jobs for other people in their communities.
Jamila Mustafa, and all night we've been waiting patiently to speak to the man of the hour, Mr. Kenneth Frazier. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm having a blast.
Oh my gosh, and so let's talk about an event that is explosive. It's dynamic. It's breathtaking from start to finish. It's an all-day event. What did it take to put together an event celebrating Black entrepreneurs?
I think the first thing it took was tenacity. It took a lot to put this event on, obviously, but this year's theme was growth through service, and we just wanted to remind Black entrepreneurs of their civil responsibility to get involved in community service programs. It took a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, but it was a success today, and I'm just blessed to have so many people from so many different backgrounds in the same room engaging in conversations that matter. Traditionally, CBC, we get together and we party and we talk about our MBAs and all of our qualifications, and we don't really focus on the issues that matter to our community. And when I turn on the news and I see the murder rate in DC up 30%, I can't focus on, what vacation I'm taking this year. I need to focus on what I can do to make sure my community remains safe and that the young people in my community have access to resources. And that's one of the reasons why I do events like this, just to bridge the gap between people that have access to resources and the people that don't. Today we had homeless people outside being fed. And at the same time, we had, the president of the Black Bankers Association and, the United States Diversity Officer here, giving away money. So I think that it was a great collective experience, and I'm just having a ball.
Speaking of collective, some of the collaborators for tonight's events, who are they?
Oh, well, We Are for Justice, I founded, our nonprofit. You can check us out at weareforjustice.org. Operation Hunger USA, which was founded by Richard Taylor, former New York Jet. They do tremendous work providing subsistence and hunger solutions here in the DC area, and amazing businesses as a collective of some of the best businesses here in the DC area. And we also partnered with Radio 1. They did a great job with helping us out with promotion today. Department of Park and Recreations here in DC. I have to shout them out because they put that lovely stage outside, and we had a lot of fun.
They always say that when you've been blessed, you bless. And Mr. Frazier has done just that. This event is definitely one that will go in the books. We'll see you next year. And for all the black entrepreneurs, it is your duty to get involved with what this man has going on. I commend you. I thank you. I salute you. And let's go party. Enjoy the night.
Bernice's Educational School-Aid Center, located at 2516 West 4th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Bernice's Educational School-Aid Center is a multifaceted facility that provides child care and enrichment services to children ages 6 weeks all the way through college. Child care services are provided Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Our children have very wholesome experiences. In our school-age program, our children enjoy going to the different activities that we provide during the summer. At our center, we focus on creating an atmosphere where infants can enjoy safety, comfort, and unconditional love. They are provided quiet rest time, proper nutrition, and stimulation by nurturing interactions. Their every need is satisfied. It all depends on how much money we can raise to be able to take care of our children. One thing that families and the parents and the community can do is to donate some money for our children, because field trips are extremely expensive, and we need our children to be able to go on field trips. Our little tag for Bernice's Educational School-Aid Center is a place where infants and toddlers achieve academic success.
Hi guys, I'm Jamila Mustafa here at the YWCA, largest shelter for women and children, and I'm here tonight to speak to them about never giving up and always following their dreams. What happens to a dream first? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or does it fester like a sore and then run as a dream? Ever dream about anything? I mean, you might dream about good hot neon. Or you might dream about being a billionaire, trillionaire. You might dream about ice cold Sundays, something. You just have to dream.
My name is Matred Conaway. I'm the Resource and Service Coordinator here at the YWCA Delaware Home Life Management Center. And we were just favored with an awesome, inspirational and motivational speech by Miss Jamila Mustafa, and it was phenomenal. The ladies really gravitated towards what Ms. Mustafa had to say about, her journey to where she is now today. I think it resonated especially when she shared and was so transparent about her challenges and the obstacles that she had to overcome, and the message of perseverance. I think that was the key on tonight. I even had a chance to pull aside some of the ladies just to get their feedback, and a few of them actually said to me, they said, I couldn't help but listen. Didn't feel like it, but I couldn't help but listen to what she had to say. And really, it made me feel like I can do this too. So, I just responded to that simply by saying, you know what, you can do it. And that was her message, and I think it came across perfectly on tonight. Miss Jamila, you are welcome to come back to us anytime. Thank you so much for sharing of your time, your talent, and your message.
It's number one advocate here. We're down at the University of Delaware where students and community members are gathering because of the lantern or the noose that was hanging from the tree. And we're just going to see what people are thinking about what's going on down here at University of Delaware and seeing, is race still an issue in America? Is race still an issue in your community? So just follow us around and see what the people in the community are saying. I am here with Ivy. So Ivy, first and foremost, what do you think about all the attention to what has surfaced this morning and last night about the noose being hung up and then it's being said that it's a lantern? What do you think about the whole situation?
I think that it's all just pretty messy. Like one of the speakers said, it's all about perspective. But even if we put the issue of the noose aside, there were still like disgusting comments made that made black students on this campus feel uncomfortable. I agree with what people were saying, that the fact that people were able to say those things and feel okay to even voice their opinion in that manner was just absolutely disgusting. And I feel as a female black student, all odds are already against me. My unborn children are already at a disadvantage because they're gonna be black and I'm black. So they're already fighting and they're not even here yet. So it's just crazy. I've attended several different schools. I've attended Drexel in Philadelphia. I'm here at UD. I've been at Del Tech. And it's just, I feel like there's gonna be something done with diversity. They're gonna start one little program, it's gonna fade away, and we're gonna forget until the next event happens. So when is enough ever gonna be enough? When is there gonna be truly change? And I don't think that's gonna happen for a very long time.
I mean, especially from my perspective, going on Facebook just last night and then seeing the pictures of the noose, and then probably, well, I went to bed immediately and wake up the next morning, a sudden shift in narrative that it's just lanterns that I've never seen before. That was very confusing. I will have to admit that to the extent of my knowledge, I don't know the actual truth. I'm willing to listen to both sides. But overall, what disappoints me the most is that happening was the catalyst for this event. Because the thing is, there were many students, including myself, but especially a lot of black students, who wanted something like this to happen, this kind of dialogue, this kind of, at least the ability for them to stand on stage and tell people about the problems on campus. And for the most part, nobody was willing to listen for the longest time. And so this had to happen for people to actually want to listen.
Personally, I think it doesn't matter whether it was a noose or not. I think University of Delaware had issues to address long before that problem came up, and I think we still have a lot to work on.
And do you believe race is still an issue on campus and in our community, state?
Definitely. I think it's definitely prevalent on this campus. I've only been here for 3 weeks, and I've already experienced some racial issues here.
I'm a Newark, Delaware resident, so for me it was just kind of shocking, I mean, it's shocking because it's so close to home, but at the same time, it's just like one small part of a really big systematic thing. So, I mean, coming out, doing anything you can do just to break away at one small part of a huge issue. You know what I mean? So that's just what we're seeing right here at home on like the home front. But really, we're just part of a bigger thing.
And do you believe race is still an issue on campus in the state and in the country?
Okay, so I'm a Delaware State University student, so I go to an HBCU, and absolutely race is an issue in the United States. It's super apparent. I don't even think we have to ask that anymore, really. I mean, if you know anything about black history, it's all right there.
I like that response. So what do you think about the entire situation that arose last night?
It shows about the systematic oppression, how it's still in effect. You look at who's in jail, it's mostly African Americans, and it's mostly because of like public health problems, like mental health problems. Most people have mental health problems. It's like overlooked. African Americans are overlooked.
And so, I guess with that answer, do you believe race is still an issue on campus and in the community?
Yeah, I do. Like high up.
I'm a proud supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, but I think it's about black excellence, and that's what we need to, as a people, understand. It's about black excellence and the things of God, unity, and knowledge. So those are the morals that we need to stand by in every situation, everything we do.
I think it's just really controversial because they start off with something else and then they come back with a different response. But I feel like the school is handling it pretty well, and I think that the students are reacting, naturally, but I think that in time everything can get better.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I think whether it was a noose or even a paper lantern, no matter what, people are going to think what they think. So it's hard now to go back on what they thought and to go back on their fight or go back on their argument. So even from here now, knowing that it was a noose or wasn't a noose, it's going to be hard to actually decide on something definitively.
And as far as like the racism and all that stuff, I don't got to quote no book. I don't got to quote nothing. I got personal experiences from attending University of Delaware of it still existing on this campus. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. And
do you understand why people would blow this up to where, you know, Black Lives Matter and some of the things that were on social media about Black Lives Matter should be all lives matter? Do you understand why they hashtag Black Lives Matter?
Well, yeah, because the opposite is a given. Like the saying, all lives matter. Yeah, that's a given. I mean, everybody knows that all lives matter, but when you say that Black Lives Matter, that's not a given. There actually is value in saying a statement like Black Lives Matter because as a byproduct of institutional racist systems within our country, there have been clear cases of evidence where it doesn't matter. It should, but it doesn't, and that's why you have the movement, because the movement is a representative of the should. Black lives should matter. Black lives matter.
Thank you for your time, Mike. So first, you want to tell us, what does the Black Student Union do here on campus?
So here at the Black Student Union, we are an advocacy group for the Black students on this campus. We also serve as the liaison between students and administration. So any issue surrounding Black matters, it comes to us, and it's up to us to then take that information and go to administration and to help students feel like we're here for them, because that's what the Black Student Union is. We are for the Black students here. So our biggest mission and what we stay true to is helping the Black community, and for them to truly feel like they have a space, they have students here who are truly advocating and have their best interests at heart. So that's what we do as the BSU.
So you heard it first here on University of Delaware campus, what everybody thinks about the race issue and what they think about the noose or lantern situation. But I want to thank the Black Student Union for a great job and everything that you stand for. The Advocate definitely supports. So it's the #1 advocate, and we are checking out here at University of Delaware. Until next week, checking out.
Looking to become an MMA fighter? Train with the absolute best Delaware has to offer. Check out the Coalition. The Coalition is an elite MMA team developed by the best for you to become the best. Learn to anatomically break down your opponents in the cage with the effective, elusive striking of the MBJ Athletics Training Center. At Triple Threat Combat Sports, Delaware's only Yamasaki-affiliated program, you will learn degree grappling, the no-nonsense, most comprehensive form of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a raw pounding style of MMA striking. Team Coalition gives the best of both worlds. Two gyms, one program. Team Coalition.
I would like to thank each and every person that is here today for your support.
Or we bring on our first entertainer.
Don't give up. We need to stop begging my people. It's time to get up.
all of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more. Why don't you stand up?
God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
AdrianaDonis.com. Own your sound. Own your beats.